Hey everybody, Roger Levin here with your orthodontic practice production pearl of the week. Simple thought. Why a simple thought? Because every year there are 1,000 new self-help books written that most of which I don't think help anybody. And a lot of them are written by 21-year-olds living in their parents' basement that have never accomplished anything. I'm not being critical, I give them credit for trying, but you're not going to learn a whole lot from someone without life experience. Here is one of my life experience. And when I say mine, I mean after looking at thousands of orthodontic practices, working in consulting, being a dentist. So I hope this helps you. But again, my opinion, but at least it gives you something to think about. And what I'm thinking about is always approach things from the positive. Too many people procrastinate, don't get things done, don't move forward that they have been thinking about because they're looking so much at the middle or the negative versus the positive. Now, my message isn't go take wild risk. If you call me up and say, I'm going to buy a 25,000 square foot building. I only need 5,000 for my office. I hope to rent the rest. I'm going to go into debt, use all my savings. No, that's not my message at all. But my message is look at opportunities from the positive. Be excited about opportunities, whether it's adding a treatment room, moving a practice, bringing in new referring doctors, improving training for your treatment coordinator, putting systems into your practice, reducing overdue debonds, reducing no-shows, improving collections, longer intervals between case times, remote monitoring. I can go on and on. Orthodontics has so many opportunities today. And if you hear yourself saying, and here's my big warning, well, that shouldn't be done, then you need to then challenge yourself. You might be right. Maybe something shouldn't be done. It's not the clinical best way. It's not the administrative best way. I don't know. But I know this. When you say something shouldn't be done, do you ever challenge yourself? Let's talk about politics. Now, I never talk about politics in a business setting. And by the way, I'm not really going to talk about politics. You may think I'm going to tell you which side is right and what my views are. We're not doing any of that. But have you ever watched the news, whichever type of news you watch, and you heard something about the other side and you said, oh, that is just awful. I can't believe people think that, people do that. Have you ever said to yourself, why do they think that way? Why do they do that? And I'm not suggesting you change your opinion. I'm not suggesting you change your political persuasion. I'm just suggesting that when you say things like, well, they should, you might want to ask, why do they do it that way? Why do they think that way? It's the same with opportunities. Look at an opportunity, be excited. You can always pull the trigger, cut it off, and be done. Until you sign the final contract or write a final check, you're not committed. But if you go into opportunities looking at the downside right away in the middle, you're going to become more paralyzed. You're not going to jump on as many opportunities. When I see the successful orthodontists, they jump on opportunities. Once in a while, they get it wrong. They don't jump on catastrophic without doing their research. But I really encourage you, look at opportunities and look from the positive. And here's a quick example. We worked recently in the last couple years with an orthodontic practice that had almost no relationships with referring doctors. And I know I speak at the AAO. I've been there 3 years in a row. I spend time with orthodontists. I listen, I ask. I know many people feel like, oh, those referring doctors, they're doing all the ortho. Not true. No point in reaching out to them. In fact, the data and our own study published in Orthodontic Products magazine showed a national study that $3.6 billion a year is still referred by general dentists to orthodontists. So that's one of our 5 areas we focus on. Yes, I'm big on it because I know it works, but this orthodontist made it clear there was no point in doing it. 2 years later, he now has 22% of his referrals coming from general dentists, referring doctors, and he's grown over that 2 years by about 18%. So something's good there. Before, he had almost nobody in the category of being sent by referring doctors by the way they measured it. It is a huge increase. My point is, once he looked at it from the positive, he was able to move forward and implement strategies that helped him grow his practice. Whatever the opportunity is, start by looking and vetting it from the positive. As always, I wish you increased practice production and referrals every year, and I'll see you next week.